Have you ever made a New Year's resolution to get healthy, only to find yourself back at square one by February? Well, you're not alone. In fact, studies show that 80% of people, by the second week of February, their big New Year's resolution has failed. What if I told you there's a method that's 37 more times effective than those big resolutions? Imagine transforming your health without the stress of drastic changes or the guilt of failing again. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. There's a method called the 1% Better method, and it's about to revolutionize the way you can approach your health goals. In this video, I'm going to show you how making tiny, almost unnoticeable changes can lead to massive improvements over time. Everything from exercise, diet, sleep, and just aiming for that 1% better each day is the secret to long-lasting health. So if you're ready to ditch the cycle of failed resolutions and embrace a method that actually works, stick around, and I promise by the end of the video, you'll have a number of tips to implement this, and you won't look at New Year's resolutions the same way again. In fact, it doesn't matter when you're watching this video, you don't have to implement this for New Year's. This can be started at any time. Picture yourself as a mountain climber facing three peaks: the diet mountain, exercise peak, and sleep summit. They all seem daunting. Rather than attempting to scale all three at once, which is often impossible, choose one mountain to conquer first. Begin your ascent with making small, manageable steps or 1% changes each day, building up your strength, endurance, and confidence. Once you get one goal achieved, like optimizing your diet or exercise, you'll have the strategies and the confidence to make each of the other ones easier to attain. If you have read Atomic Habits by James Clear, you're probably familiar with this method. It's called the 1% method, but how do you use this to improve your health? Well, there's no perfect order in how to do this. It's going to be different for everyone. And the key is to start with an achievable goal. And don't let perfection get in the way of great results. You may have grand results for the whole year, but if you try and achieve them all at once, this is what often leads to failure. So if you want to have the perfect diet, start with making small, consistent changes, and you will get the results that you're looking for, maybe without the perfection. For example, if you try and do a super strict diet to lose weight, you could lose weight for a month or two, and that's great, but often without the long-lasting changes, that weight just comes back on again. Well, so many people, they'll go to the gym, try and do 30 to 60 minutes a day. If they can't continually do that because life gets in the way, they feel like a failure and give up altogether. Some people are already doing one of these summits really well, like exercise, but they need to focus on improving their diet. Or their diet and exercise is great, but their stress is through the roof and they're not sleeping very well. And it's going to be different for everybody. If you have to improve everything, that is okay. But this is where this method shines, as you can focus on making just one or two small changes at a time and getting great results in the long run. So here are some key ways you can improve in each area of these key health pillars, starting with diet, then we'll look at exercise and sleep and stress. But there's one other key to make success long-lasting, and I'll talk about that at the end of the video. And without this is another reason why people often go back to their same old habits. So looking at diet, there's so many different things you can do to improve that. But one simple one is boosting your vegetable intake. Making an extra serving of vegetables daily. Most people don't eat enough vegetables, and if you don't particularly like vegetables, potentially starting with just some super greens of some description, a good quality super green powder, can give you more vitamins and minerals and key nutrients like phytonutrients, which is going to be much better getting it from a whole food source than like a multivitamin supplement. There's other ways you can get vegetables in your diet through smoothies, hiding them in foods, and this is especially good if you're trying to get your kids to eat more vegetables. Another important thing that most people can do is increasing their water consumption. If you're already drinking enough water each day, and I always think in liters, so that can be around 2 liters of water or 8 glasses a day, maybe you don't have to focus on this. But if you're drinking lots of tea, coffee, those types of things, and just not enough good quality water, that can be a good place to start. Another big one is having some protein at breakfast. This is important for many different reasons. If you're trying to lose weight, gain muscle, having around 30 grams of protein at breakfast can be a great way to get the day started. And most breakfasts that people do, like toast, cereals, those types of things, they're very low in protein. Other ways you can make dietary changes is, rather than trying to change breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just try and change one meal and have one quality meal a day if all of them aren't that great. I find breakfast and lunch is a good place to start. Most people share their dinner with other people and they may not be on the same health journey as you, so getting your breakfast and lunch dialed in is a good place to start. Using smaller plates to control portion size is a proven way to reduce down calories. Making one new recipe a week, that sounds easy. If I asked you to make 50 recipes, that's daunting. But if you do one new recipe a week, you've got 52 new recipes over the whole year. And many of them may not be that great, but you can disregard those. But you're going to find 20, 30 great new recipes that you've never made before that you can add to your repertoire. As I mentioned before, increasing protein. So you're getting around a gram of protein per pound or kilogram of body weight. So for most people, that's in that 100 or 150 grams of protein a day. Just starting the day with a big glass of water can be a great place to start. Especially if you're reaching for the coffee. Nothing wrong with having a coffee a day. I love that. But starting with water is a good place. Having cleaning out your pantries and not buying the junk food. For some people, they can have junk food in the cupboard and ignore that. I'm not one of those people, and most people aren't. So just not having it in the cupboard is an easy way not to eat the chips and crackers and things like that. Adding a handful of nuts to your diet, especially good quality, unsalted, unroasted nuts. They're great sorts of monounsaturated fats, which are the good fats and great for heart disease. Having one serve of fish is good for the omega-3s a week. Especially if you're doing ideally you want to be having 2 to 3 serves of good quality oily fish a week, but starting with one. Always adding in some fish oils if you just don't like fish or you're just finding you're not getting enough fish in your diet. Having some good quality seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds, those types of things, they can be added to like a breakfast cereal potentially or a smoothie. And those fibers can be helpful for gut health, good bacteria, and also that feeling of fullness you don't overeat. Swapping out like sugary sweets and desserts for things like dark chocolate. Adding a handful of leafy greens to one meal a day. Having whole fruit instead of fruit juice. These are all simple changes that can make a big difference. If you've got gut issues, maybe adding apple cider vinegar, a teaspoon before even one meal a day, especially if it's your main protein meal. It can help to stimulate digestion and make you just feeling better afterwards. Having legumes, having one vegetarian meal a week can be great if you eat a lot of meat, and adding a good quality legumes and lentils has fiber, protein, and it's also great for the microbiome. So these small changes, they compound over time, leading to significant improvements in your overall health. Even just focusing on some of these will lead to some good results. So now that we've explored the diet, let's look at exercise, because exercise is one of the best proven methods of improving overall health, improving longevity, and it's when you compare it to any drug out there, exercise is the best. So if you struggle to make exercise as part of your routine, one way of changing this is to add in what's called exercise snacks. And these are made popular by Dr. Rhonda Patrick, but it's been proven to improve your overall health. So some examples of exercise snacks would be, climbing stairs instead of taking an elevator, or doing it for like 1 minute, doing bodyweight squats, even 10 to 15 squats during commercial breaks on TV, or, 1 hour a day or after dinner can help give you that little bit of exercise. Doing 5 to 10 push-ups, even if it's against like a wall or a bench. Changing, meetings that you might do to standing up meetings or walking meetings. Marching in place, you don't have to go out for a walk, even just marching in place for 30 seconds or 1 to 2 minutes. Adding in wall sits. If you're active enough, even jumping jacks. Doing these 30 to 60-second exercise snacks can be a way of, and especially if you incorporate them several times a day, it's been shown to improve overall health. And then gradually you can start to lengthen the length of these, and it could be 5 to 10 minutes, and then going for a 20-minute walk or 30-minute walk, or even doing a program like the Couch to 5K, which is a very gentle program getting from the couch to being able to run 5K. I think it'd be great, unless you have a physical disability or problem, being able to run 5Ks is a great skill to be able to do. And everyone should be able to do it, whether you like running or not, and getting up to be able to run that far is great. Strength training is also really good. So by doing things like the mini push-ups, the squats, things like that, it could be a step up to doing like some exercise bands or getting some dumbbells if you don't like going to the gym. I love the gym, but I find going there, it takes 10 to 15 minutes, coming home another 10 to 15 minutes. It sort of cuts 1 or 2 hours out of your day, which if you can do 10 to 15 minutes at home several times a week, that's all you need to build up strength, bone density, and improve your overall health now, but also for longevity later in life. And if you're already walking regularly and feeling like you're getting enough exercise, maybe for you it's adding in strength training that's the missing thing. Or if all you do is go to the gym and bulking up, adding in some cardio can be great. So You don't want to just train cardio over strength. And if you're going to do one, I think strength is the best training. For many people, they focus on the cardio, but they're missing out on the strength. So the final one we have to focus on is stress, sleep, and improving mental health. This has been proven to improve overall health, but if you've got high stress levels, that's going to affect your insulin, cortisol levels, affect weight loss. It's going to affect digestion. It's going to affect just about every aspect of your health. Probably the most important thing is getting a consistent sleep schedule. Good quality sleep is crucial for optimal health. So going to bed at a consistent time, waking up at a consistent time, and you can sleep in a little bit on the weekend, but it's not necessarily healthy to sleep for 3 or 4 extra hours on the weekend. It's been shown that you can't catch up for what you miss out on during the week. Implementing stress reduction techniques, a little bit like the exercise snacks. You don't have to meditate for an hour or half an hour every day. You can just do small, like 5-minute meditation, or even what I find to be better if you're not used to doing things like meditation and mindfulness is breath work. Things like the 4-7-8 breathing technique or the box breathing technique, they're excellent for calming down the nervous system and controlling stress levels. Most people, when they're stressed, they breathe too shallow, they breathe too quickly, and often we're unaware of this. So by practicing these breathing techniques for 1 to 2 minutes several times a day, you can get the body into better habits so you don't feel stressed. It's best to do these things when, not when you're really stressed. You don't think about it then. Getting into the habit of doing them consistently will help to be able to implement them when you do feel stressed or anxious. Other things that can be helpful for stress and helping with sleep is getting into the habit of doing a gratitude practice, whether it's a journal or even just saying out loud like 2 to 3 things that you're thankful for each day. Writing them down is often better, but even just saying them out loud can be really good. This can be shown to improve just general happiness and reducing stress levels. Remember, the key to success is doing these things consistently. Starting with these small, manageable changes and focusing on that 1% each day will lead to those lifelong benefits later. Other ways you can help with stress is by just reducing screen time before bed. Getting out in nature, whether it's just in your own garden or going for a walk in a park. Avoiding lots of stimulants like caffeine, alcohol, those types of things. If you're having trouble sleeping at night, maybe avoiding things like naps in the afternoon or keeping them to only 20 minutes. Making sure your room's nice and dark and having a good environment to sleep in. Maybe you need to invest in a new pillow or better quality bedding to help you sleep. All of these things can just make that little bit of difference to improving your overall sleep, which will help your stress levels. Poor sleep has been shown to be connected to so many different health issues, from weight to poor hormones, low testosterone, PMS. So optimizing your sleep is crucial for overall health. Limiting alcohol consumption. Ever since I started using an Oura Ring, it's really made it aware how much that affects my sleep at nighttime. Alcohol. Heart rate is higher, heart rate variability is lower, and while studies have shown that sleep is affected by alcohol, not until you sort of track all this data that you can really see it in real life and how it affects you when you do drink. And if you're still having trouble with stress and anxiety, seek medical help. Do something like cognitive behavior therapy, which is one of the best therapies for addressing overwhelm, anxiety, stress. Or talk to a friend. You're not here. You don't have to do everything by yourself. And most importantly, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. That positive self-talk can make a massive difference. There's some ways you can do the 1% method to improve your diet, improve exercise habits, and reduce your stress levels, improve your sleep. The other crucial thing to long-lasting success with health goals is to having a why. If you just hear that you should do this or you should do that, or your partner's saying, lose weight, start running, there's no motivation to do that. You've got to have your own motivation. That could be so that you can be, playing for your kids or your grandkids as you get older. It could be competing in an event that's coming up that your work is organizing. It could be, it may be a short-term goal like fitting into a dress to go to your friend's wedding. If that's the case, those short-term goals can be great to get that momentum going, but then you can add to those healthy habits to make it a lifelong thing, and you're not going up and down depending on, what life throws at you. So yeah, finding out your why is really important for long-lasting results. I once had a client who, he came to me many times for his health, and it was usually weight. It was just going up and down. He would follow a good diet, fall off the wagon. And one time he came back to me and, hadn't seen him for a while. And he was looking great. And I said, look, what's the secret? What was your diet answer, or what was the magic answer? And he just became more aware of how all the processed foods that he used to love to eat, they're all owned by these multinational companies. And he decided that he just didn't want to give his money to these companies anymore that are just feeding bad habits. And he called them evil corporations. And that was his driving factor, was just corporate greed. But it helped his health in the long run. So if you've got a method that's worked for you, or share it in the comments below. It might help somebody else to stay motivated and reach their health goals.